In the heart of a bustling city, where skyscrapers touched the clouds and the streets were always alive with the hum of cars and people, lived a man named Arjun. Arjun was a software engineer who worked long hours in a high-rise office building. His life was fast-paced and often lonely, but he had one constant companion: his dog, Bruno. Bruno was a sturdy German shepherd with intelligent eyes and a heart full of devotion. He had been with Arjun since he was a puppy, and the two shared a bond that was unbreakable. Bruno wasn't just a pet, he was Arjun's best friend. Every morning Bruno would wake Arjun up by gently pawing at his bed. They would go for a run in the nearby park, where Bruno would chase after squirrels, and Arjun would clear his mind before a long day at work. In the evenings, no matter how late Arjun returned, Bruno would be waiting by the door, tail wagging furiously, as if to say, "I missed you." Life in the city was hectic, but Bruno made it feel like home. On weekends, Arjun would take Bruno to the dog park, where they would play fetch for hours. Bruno loved car rides, and Arjun often took him on drives around the city, windows rolled down, Bruno's ears flapping in the wind. The two were inseparable, and Arjun often joked that Bruno was the only one who truly understood him. One rainy evening, as Arjun was driving home from work, his car skidded on the wet road and crashed into a lamppost. The accident left Arjun severely injured, and he was rushed to the hospital. Bruno, who had been in the car with him, was unharmed but terrified. The paramedics couldn't take Bruno to the hospital, so a kind neighbor offered to look after him until Arjun recovered. But Bruno wasn't himself. He refused to eat and spent most of his time sitting by the window, staring at the street below, waiting for Arjun to come home. Days turned into weeks, and Arjun remained in the hospital, recovering from multiple surgeries. The neighbor tried her best to comfort Bruno, but it was clear that his heart was with Arjun. Finally, after a month, Arjun was discharged from the hospital. He was still weak and walked with a cane, but he was determined to get back to Bruno. When he opened the door to his apartment, Bruno nearly knocked him over in his excitement. He barked, jumped, and licked Arjun's face, as if to say, "You're back, I knew you'd come back." Arjun's recovery was slow, but Bruno never left his side. He would follow Arjun around the apartment, making sure he was okay. At night, Bruno would sleep next to Arjun's bed, keeping watch over his master. Arjun often joked that Bruno was his personal nurse, but deep down, he knew he owed a lot of his recovery to Bruno's unwavering love and support. Years passed, and life returned to normal. Arjun went back to work, and Bruno continued to be his loyal companion. But as Bruno grew older, his energy began to fade. His once strong legs grew weak, and his playful barks turned into soft whimpers. Arjun knew that Bruno's time was coming to an end, and it broke his heart. One evening, as the sun set over the city skyline, Bruno lay down on his favorite spot by the window. Arjun sat beside him, gently stroking his fur. Bruno looked up at Arjun with tired eyes, as if to say, "Thank you for everything." With a final sigh, Bruno closed his eyes and passed away peacefully. Arjun was devastated. The apartment felt empty without Bruno's presence. He buried Bruno in a quiet corner of the city's pet cemetery, where he often visited to lay flowers and talk to his old friend. Though Bruno was gone, his loyalty and love left a lasting mark on Arjun's heart. To this day, Arjun keeps Bruno's collar on his bedside table, a reminder of the dog who stood by him through thick and thin. And sometimes, when the city grows quiet at night, Arjun swears he can hear the faint sound of Bruno's bark, a comforting echo of the bond they shared, a bond that even death couldn't break.